Here we go. All right, cool. I hope that the light is not too bothersome for some people. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. Obviously, I'm here behind one of my studios. Don't be surprised if you see some I don't know. There's paint somewhere around there. All kinds of stuff. I've been an artist for over 20 years, and it's one of those things that I think that it doesn't go away. Once you're an artist, you're an artist, and it's just a matter of whether you want to do it as a career or not. So, anyways, I don't want to talk so much about me, guys. I want to share with you guys this moment. I got here right now, RF Pangborn. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, for sure. RF Pangborn.
Cool. So he's an artist. I've been watching a bit of what he's been doing on Facebook, and just I love the hustle. Every time I recognize someone doing something, I'm like, man, I gotta talk to this person. I think this person's got energy, and I love going to where there's energy. So anyways, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, RF? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and let people know like what you're about?
Okay, my name's RF Pangborn. I am only maybe like 5-6 years into the serious painting game. I was into art as a kid. I think I absorbed a lot of bad advice, like a lot of people, man. I listened to a lot of stuff like art is for lazy people, or you're not going to make money doing this. We've all heard this stuff before. Either family members are trying to help you out and give you what they think is good advice or whatever. But I think I absorbed a lot as a kid, so I kind of put art on the side, on the back burner for a long time, man. And I started, I think, taking the day job seriously and trying to move up at the job and stuff like that. And frankly, it wasn't a very satisfying lifestyle for me. I had confessed to my wife about how when I retired, I wanted to paint. I was just putting that off way into the future. Maybe when I'm old and I have a gray beard, I'll take up some painting and stuff. It's a very romantic idea. But soon after we talked about that, it was like the next Christmas, all of a sudden, my in-laws and my wife conspired. They got me an easel. They got me some paints. And they're like, yo, start now. What are you waiting for? So, I'm in my 40s. I'm just kind of getting my technique back up and stuff like that. But, man, it's such a satisfying change in my life, man. There's a lot of fulfillment, a lot of catharsis, a lot of satisfaction. And I'm not going to dwell on, what I could have been doing the past 20 years, but what I'm doing now, man, I'm trying to step it up and get it going as fast as possible.
And I love that. That alone, like if we just focus on not what we didn't do, but what we can do right now, Yeah,
there's no point in looking back at that. It's not a loss. First of all, you experienced a lot of life, and that's gonna go right into your work, man. It's gonna show. So there's no real waste of time there. It's like there's no time like the present, like people say. Just get it going now, and that's where I'm at right now. And luckily, I've kind of found a niche. I'm a big nerd. I'm a big movie nerd. I like horror and sci-fi and fantasy. And when you find that group of people that's into the same thing you're into, man, they're very supportive. They're out there. They're buying your work. They're commenting, liking them on social media a lot. And I find that if you find a group of people kind of interested in the same thing you are, that's going to be your core group of supporters, man. And I've actually been very lucky with that, man. That community is very supportive of my work. It's allowed me to kind of grow and actually make some money off of art, which I didn't think was really going to happen.
Very cool, man. Speaking of money, man, what's one of the things that has helped you change? Like go from okay, I'm creating artwork to someone's asking me to that they want to give me money for it.
All right, yeah.
Is there one thing?
You may have touched on this, and a lot of people who follow you probably watching this now, and they know this. It's kind of been said again and again, but it's like in the beginning you're sort of waiting. Maybe you'll get discovered. Maybe some hand is going to come out of the sky and say, "Yo, where have you been all this time?" I know you've said this before, and it struck me, man, because I was in that mindset for a long time. Somebody's going to notice me, and no. Nobody's going to notice you unless you make people notice you and stuff. And when I started watching your videos, that was a big thing for me. It's like, wow, eye opener. It's like there's all these people out there who want to buy and see your work, but you've got to show it to them. You got to get your name out there and stuff. You got to be visible. And so I started to take that seriously and step it up and really try to promote myself. And yeah, I did connect with those people. You know, they were there the whole time. But you can't wait for something to happen. It's not lightning's not going to strike out of the sky and somebody's going to say, hey, we're gonna start putting you in galleries and all this kind of stuff. You got to make that happen. You got to make everything happen.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So it's just a push, it's a drive, right? Just
absolutely, yeah.
Would you agree that many artists may have this wrong, that we think that something is going to happen and we don't really understand the amount of energy we can push out into the world? We underestimate our energy.
You're always underestimating yourself. You're underestimating your ability to be successful and stuff like that. All artists are kind of plagued by the same insecurities and stuff. You just believe in yourself and don't wait for things to happen. Obviously, you may, 1 out of a million people may get lucky and get the quote unquote discovered or whatever, or you can just make that happen on your own by showing up every day, like you said, man. And definitely don't be afraid to show your work. You may think it's crap, but there are a lot of people out there who are going to think it's gold, man. They're going to think it's great. So I stopped being so judgmental about my work. I started out doing like old master style, thinking you have to adhere to all these rules and things have to be perfect and the medium's got to be perfect. And I see you kind of talk about this all the time, man. And it's another thing that kind of helped me come to this realization. It's like, I'm never going to be really satisfied with my work. It's never going to come out like I picture it's going to come out. But to somebody else, I can't see that through somebody else's eyes, man. And they may see that as something great. So I just let it go. I let it go. I paint something and I let it go. And almost always someone will pick something up or I get a lot of positive feedback. So I'm not as harsh a critic on myself as I used to be. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, and that right there, that alone, right? It just changes.
Yeah, that can cripple you. That can cripple you. You're always trying to get that perfect situation. It's never going to happen, guys. It's never going to happen. Just make art. Put it out there.
I love that. Listen to that, guys. I mean, whoever's listening to this later on, guys, whether it's on Facebook, on YouTube, or LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever, wherever you see this video, just listen to this, guys. The whole thing that cripples you is your state of mind, like what you're thinking about your artwork.
You put a lot of pressure on yourself. You put a lot of undue pressure on yourself when all you really got to do is just enjoy the painting process. Just enjoy it and don't worry how it's going to come out. I approach a canvas or a panel and I'm like, hey, I may scrape this in 5 minutes. I may throw this out. I really don't care what happens. And that's where my best work comes out. And when I'm worried about something and I go back and I'm tip-tapping and I'm trying to straighten things out, it's always garbage, man. It's always garbage in the end.
Yeah, because you're cherry picking, right? You're cherry picking your way in there.
Yes.
I love that, man. I love that. And also, what are some of the things that you're doing today? What are some of the things that you're doing to help you get exposed? Because I mean, I'm a big I don't know. I'm loud when it comes to exposing yourself, right? You have to expose.
God bless you. Yeah. I mean, that's a great example, man, because it kind of emboldens me a little bit to just try to live up to some. Like I said, I was talking about your energy before, man. It's like if I could get a little bit of that going, I'm very shy. Most artists are very introverted and stuff, and you're kind of afraid of criticism and stuff like that. But you gotta let all that go. Put yourself out into the world. Take the criticism as well as the praise. Shrug it off. It's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna shoot you because they think your art's not good. It's not deadly. It's no big deal. But more than likely, you're gonna get more positive feedback than negative for sure. And so I am now. I'm not afraid to put stuff out there. If there's criticism or haters, they're going to come, and they usually come when you're more successful. So people start hating on you and making those comments. Just take it as, hey, I'm moving up in the world. It's fine. And another thing too is, man, don't pass up opportunities that you're uncomfortable about. People may present me now with a commission. It's like at first I was only doing the genres that I enjoy, and I would be like, oh, I don't want to do pet portraits, or I don't want to do someone's grandmother, but you know what? That's work, and you take work, man. You don't never refuse work. Something like that comes by, it's only going to make you grow. Doing on things that are not in my comfort zone actually have helped me expand, and I have a bigger, more followers. I'm making money in ways that I didn't really imagine I would be making money before, which is awesome. Never refuse work, man. Yeah, and my wife reminded me too. It's like I would be afraid to put my stuff out in public. Somebody would ask me about doing a show or doing an interview online, and automatically I receive, and no, this is uncomfortable for me, but no, relax, do it, because the more stuff like that I do, the more comfortable I become with doing it. That kind of, the uncomfortable feelings start to go into the background the more you do things and stuff, that recedes. And then also the recognition starts to rise up. So I'm now just kind of saying yes to almost anything, even this interview on Zoom here. I'm terribly uncomfortable about it, but I'll tell you what, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm here. I'm going to show up.
Love that, man. I love that. See, one of the things, what my mentors say, one of my mentors says, look, dude, show up even if your eyes are bleeding.
Yeah.
Show up even if your eyes are bleeding.
And it's never that bad. It's never that bad. Just show up.
It's never that bad, right? It's never that bad. Like today I have a cold, man. I have a mild cold, right? And my wife says, like, go rest, and she's not the type of person that's like, you're working too much. She never tells me any of that. She has a very strong work ethic. But she told me, you should rest. That way you're more, I'm like, no, like resting, like it's not that bad. Resting is when you go to sleep, that's when I
rest, It's not critical.
I think, isn't that the enthusiasm you want to go after, whether you don't feel right, it's uncomfortable. I don't feel like painting today, or my technique is not really showing. How much does that cripple us? My technique is not really showing in my work.
Yeah, that was a big deal for me too. It's a big deal for everybody, and just get over it. You'll find that the being a person that had suffered from a lot of anxiety in the past, I have a lot of social anxiety and stuff and whatever. But the more you put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, it's like your body can't sustain that heightened sense of anxiety. After about 10 minutes, it's done, so you find yourself being very normalized to this kind of stuff. So it's not a big deal for me now to do things that were a huge deal to me before. And hopefully I'll get more comfortable with a lot more aspects of this too.
Just changing it, huh? Just changing it.
Go into the fire over and over again. Just do it.
Yeah, I love that.
Someone told me a long time ago, but the advice is hitting home now. A friend of mine who's also an artist, he said, man, just jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down. And so that's what I'm doing,
I always find
the wings. They always appear. Don't worry.
Very cool. Yeah, you're going to figure out a way. You're going to figure out a way if you just throw yourself.
Yes.
Most people don't want to throw themselves. You'll figure out a way in there.
It's just one of our natural attributes as a human being. We adapt to everything, every stressful situation, and you can overcome it, of course.
I love that. I love that, man. Very cool. So I wanted to touch also here before we wrap up. I wanted to touch on where are you going next? What are some of the things that you're going to do next? Like what do you see yourself? Your goals.
Oh, I'm sorry. My wife's trying to tell me something off, so just say it.
About your past 2 days.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But I mean, right now I'm just kind of opening myself up to shows, for instance. It seemed like the more productive I am and the more I'm posting, the more you're showing up every day. For me, it's social media. For somebody else, it might be a .com. For somebody else, it might be like I see you on YouTube constantly. You can have a presence just about anywhere now, thank God, because of the internet. For me, Facebook has been very kind, so I'm pushing it. I'm blowing it up. I'm kind of, quote unquote, killing it on Facebook. I'm doing pretty good. So I'm focused there right now, and people are approaching me out of nowhere about interviews, about gallery shows. So I'm now just getting my name out there, and it's kind of like if I look over to the left, if I showed you my board under the clock, the board is full now, and the board is full last week, and it's nonstop now. So
what a blessing, man, to have a full board.
Absolutely. But being shy is not going to get you the full board. Put yourself out there.
See, listen to that, guys. Being shy will not get you scheduled. It's not. I mean, have you noticed that the busier you are, the more you can do? Is that true for you?
You kind of rise to the occasion. Again, it's another aspect of human nature. It's there. It's in us all. So don't be afraid. You'll rise to the occasion. And maybe, no one's going to shoot me if I don't get somebody's commission done in time. I have very few people that ask for something to get done on time.
Yeah.
Load up the board, start working one by one. You'll even find that in between, this is a worry for some people too, in between those projects, you'll find time for your personal work too. My personal work sometimes only takes an hour. And that's enough for me. And so I also learn a lot by taking commissions from stuff that's like, wow, seems a little intimidating at first, but I'm going to tackle it. And because there's a customer behind it, I have to follow through. And so then I grow. I keep growing,
I love that, man. I love that. So I want to touch on something because I've been doing some coaching, some one-on-one with artists,
Yeah.
and artists have been asking me, "Hey, dude, how did you do it? How did you get started?" And I basically have been doing what you're talking about. Just sledgehammer my way, I see something there. Here, let's go see what it is, And
Right.
I'm too busy already. So what? I'm not gonna die. No one's gonna kill me for it. Let's go do it, And so out of that came a lot of questions from artists, private messaging me on Facebook or DMing me on Instagram and whatnot, YouTube and emails and whatnot. And so it got to a point where I was like, oh man, there is a need to talk about some of my stuff, share about some of the stuff that I've done, right? And so one of my mentors told me, dude, you gotta not be so selfish. He called me out, he's like, you're being selfish, man. You gotta not be selfish. Start sharing that with other people. So after about 6 years of making a full-time living as an artist, I was like, man, it's time to share some of this stuff. Like other artists are gonna, and I'm gonna learn as well. I'm gonna learn based on the.
Oh yeah, always. Whenever you have to reiterate anything, when you're in a teaching mode or an advice mode, you're reminding yourself of all that stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wrote this guide. It's a Craigslist artist guide, and one of the very first things I did was go to Craigslist, and I was like, man, how can I start monetizing here? So I was like, I tried everything under the sun. I tried going after the galleries, very mediocrely, right? I was like, oh man, let's see here, let's see there, kind of scratching the surface,
Right.
And one day it just kind of clicked, and I was like, man, the market is the market is the market. All I got to see, and this is years ago, right? Where are people? So where are people right now? Where are they hanging out? And I was like, Craigslist, right? So I wrote this thing because my first experiences were on Craigslist, and I made one day I made $525, and I was like, man, I think other people would want to find out about this, how I did it. It's basically how I crafted the ad. Really, what it's most important, the offer, right? It's how I crafted the ad and tapping into that group of people. So I know that you bought one of those guides.
Absolutely.
And I just want you to share a little bit with people what your experience was. I mean, without giving too much, let them go buy it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be careful. I don't want to blow your game up, but yeah. Listen, first of all, you've been giving and giving and giving. I don't know how long you've been making those videos, bro. You got like over 1,000 videos on YouTube. It's crazy. I could watch one a day for the next like 3-4 years and not be done with them. And so every day I'm getting advice from you for free, and it's working, and it's not BS, man. You're speaking from experience, so I trust you. And everything that I've kind of even, like I said, maybe I'm doing 1/5 of what you're talking about doing, and I've noticed an amazing amount of success in my personal art career. It's really growing over the past year, like more than I could have imagined. It's incredible. So I said, you know what? The guy's asking only for $50, man, and he's talking about getting $500 in a day. I said, you know what? I'm doing this mainly to support Jose because I feel like I got to give something back, man. You give me so much. But honestly, I got that the PDF. I read it, and I was like, I was like, you know what? Just by applying again a small amount of the gist of what you were saying, I didn't even do it on Craigslist. I did it on Facebook. And I got to get the cat off of here. Me and my wife tallied this up in 2 days, about a 48-hour period. I sold 9 paintings, a grand total of over $700, man. And I don't make that, maybe in 2 months and stuff. So 2 days for me, it's an incredible boon.
Man, I gotta repeat that, okay? Hold on, what do you repeat that? Is 9 paintings?
9 paintings out of 10. I had 10 that I was looking to get rid of. I have, like everybody, you have paintings sitting around that are depressing you because you haven't sold them yet. Some of these had been around for about 3 years. They went to a gallery. Maybe one of them sold, and I got the bulk of them back. And I was like, man, I'm already into something else by now. I don't want to see all this old stuff hanging around. I'm going to be tripping over it and stuff. So it was right about the time where I had gotten your PDF, and it kind of it sparked up the idea. It's like, well, I'm a big Facebook guy. I'm not, maybe I could probably do that on Facebook and have had the same success. I mean, on Craigslist, but I wanted to experiment and do it on Facebook. So the moment I got back this big package of paintings, I kind of went through some of the things that you were talking about. Like I said, within about 48 hours, I had sold 9 out of the 10 paintings. I'm in the process of packing them up all now, and the money's coming in on PayPal. I mean, I can't thank you enough, man.
I love that, man.
Worth more than $50, man.
Over $700 in 48 hours, man. That's awesome.
Yes. Think about all the supplies. That's going to buy us a nice dinner out. I mean, yeah, my wife could get her hair done, and this is huge for me. So
I love that, man.
Yes. Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
Oh man, no, like it's you, man. It's all you. It's your hard work. It pays off. For me, it's just like, man, like how amazing is that? That when you apply yourself into something, you're able to generate results.
Yeah. Not all of us have that initially. I'm kind of like, for me, it was just a matter of learning how to paint over the past 5 years. I didn't know anything about promotion, about selling techniques. This is all new to me. So you've been an absolute gold mine in that respect. Believe me.
I love that, man. I appreciate it, man. So you recommend other artists to check it out, to check out the Craigslist artist? Of course.
Anyone who's watching us right now, they know you. They've been watching your videos. Please tell me that this Jose has not been beneficial to you in the past. I trust you, man. You've got the experience. What did you just move into? A 3,000 square foot studio?
Yeah, I just moved into a 3,000 square foot studio. Yeah, a warehouse.
I know you're also supporting your family with your art. Everything is happening for you. So I'm not going to maybe listen to some crackpot who has some opinions about things but hasn't painted in 3 years, is living off past laurels. Here's a guy who's doing it right now and is willing to share this information, this important information for those of us that don't know or maybe don't have that gumption in the beginning. And like I said, I didn't even follow 100% what was in there, maybe 60%, and you can see the results, man. So
I love that, man.
I definitely recommend. Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. That's awesome. See, guys, just listen to this. You don't even need to follow the 100% to the T. 60% got results to PF. It's like what the PF? I'm sorry about that, man. I totally butchered your name. RF. I'm like PF.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of I think it's just swinging, you start swinging, you start figuring out you too, right? Not just like the stuff that I talk about, but you start figuring out yourself.
Yes, absolutely. And it's more about opening your eyes to ways you would not think of promoting your work and selling your work. And I think that's what was most important for me. I had never thought about what you were talking about. It never even occurred to me. And obviously, it works. So you could take this to Craigslist and be successful, but you can also take this to wherever you're at. I think you could use these same principles anywhere.
I love that. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, the principle is the same. Sales is sales is sales, right? Whether you take it to LinkedIn, Craigslist, Facebook, Instagram, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Same principle. I love that, man. Well, it's been a pleasure, man, just talking to you, talking with you, man, and watching you work. I got one of your smaller paintings for my wife.
Thank you for that.
She's just like, she loves your stuff, man. It's just amazing. It's amazing the way you're able to capture it. You're able to capture the whole thing.
let me say I was not able to produce this kind of work until I started to really let go. And, you know, guys, when Jose is talking about putting that brush to the surface and owning what you're about to do next, man, remember that, because I wasn't doing that before. Now I own every stroke, and you see me in the painting now. You don't see the old masters. You don't see whoever it was I was trying to be before. You see me, and that's what's getting the reaction. People want to see you. So put yourself out there. Put it on the canvas too.
I love that, man. That's awesome. Well, guys, you heard it. You heard it from RF Pangborn. Pangborn, right?
You got it. You got it. You got it. Thank you.
Awesome. He's an artist. Where can people find you, man? Where can people find you? People that are like that you're into the whole sci-fi. I've seen some really cool stuff that is kind of like fantasy horror. Type of
Yeah. Like I said, that's the niche that is working for me, and it's something that I'm personally excited about. So always paint what you are excited about. Don't try to paint things you think people are going to be impressed by, because a lot of people don't like horror art. A lot of people don't like sci-fi, but a lot of people do. And so also it kind of got me to a place now where I'm willing to paint just about anything, man. I'm just interested in painting and getting better. And so that means landscapes, that means portraits. I'm doing girls now, pets, whatever. All this stuff, it's kind of the same thing. But you find your niche, that's your jump off point. That's going to be your core base. And then don't be afraid to experiment from there. You may find something about yourself that you never knew before, and it's a new area. We're always going to be exploring as artists, man, and growing. So
where you start, you don't end normally,
Exactly. There is no end. This is just going to keep going. It's going to keep going.
I love that.
Typically, you can find me on Facebook, RF Pangborn on Facebook. That's where you're going to see me more talking personally about my day-to-day stuff as an artist. I also have Pangborn Arts, which is just like finished pieces that are on there and stuff like that. But, it's not just about me promoting and selling work. I start to realize the importance of the art community, which is something I didn't know anything about before. It's about support, guys. So come on there. I'm not there to sell you stuff, but friend me, join the community and get that support. I'm there to lift you up when you're down. You know what I'm saying? Likewise, I've had bad days too, where you think you can't get anything right, and someone will come along and kind of lift you up a little bit and stuff. So it's more about that too.
Totally, man. I love that. Yeah. It's really about the connection, right? Like keeping the connection, because sometimes you could be in a place where, man, I need to feed I need to feed off of your energy.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're in that place. If I'm down and if I see your stuff, like there's days that I'm down. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's days that I mean, we're all
even the world's greatest living artist has his days,
Yeah, the greatest living artist has to have his down days. And then I see you posting, and I'm like, man, I gotta get on it. It sort of puts me in this what's next. I love that. I love this feeling of what's next. What's Absolutely. The next thing? Because I know that one of the things that I learned early on when I was a kid was the more you do, the more you can do.
Yes.
It's like Absolutely. A spin wheel, So if you slow down, then you start backing away. You start backing up, and then you get to a point where you feel like you can't do anything. So watching people like yourself, man, that are constantly producing artwork, you're really walking the line, and you're really walking the walk. It's not just like, oh, well, I'm an artist. No, like you're constantly producing artwork, and you're pushing yourself. And I see the momentum that you're getting on Facebook. Amazing.
If you see any of that, I got to honestly say, man, a lot of that is due to some of your tutelage. So, without having to, I discovered your videos through wanting to paint loosely. And I'm achieving some of that now. But the motivational aspects, the business aspects, the promotional, all that stuff, all your experience start to come into play here. And it's much more than that now. And I got to say, man, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man, for putting that stuff out there for free. So you've helped me a great deal. And if I'm experiencing any growth now, man, I'm not gonna, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it's because of your videos, man. It helped me so much.
I love that, man. Well, thank you so much, man. I'm gonna go ahead and end this interview right now, but please stay online, that way we can talk a little bit more.
Absolutely.
And just to kind of see where we're going next. And those of you watching on Facebook, on Instagram Live right now, I'm talking with RF Pangborn. He's an excellent artist. Go check him out on Facebook at Pangborn Arts. Pangborn Arts, right? On Facebook.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can find them there. And check out his work. Check out what he's doing. It's really amazing. Check out more the work ethic. I'm always baffled when I find someone who actually has the work ethic. I'm like, that's my man right there. I need to get close to this person. I like that. So go check him out, and we're gonna end this interview. And peace.
Guys.
Let me end it right here.